There's a type of man a woman never forgets, not because he's rich, handsome, or smooth-talking, but because she never fully understands him. He shows up, then disappears, like an ellipsis, not a period. He doesn't need to talk much, doesn't need to prove anything, doesn't need to cling. And it's exactly that calmness that throws her off balance. You could be the guy who's always around, always texting, always there, but that very thing might be what makes you so easily replaceable. In this video, I'll show you why strategic absence isn't just a skill. It's the ultimate weapon of an attractive man. And more importantly, how to use it at the right time, in the right way, without losing yourself in the process. Part 1. Doing too much might not be wrong, but being too easy, that's definitely a loss. Craig, the gold standard of fully attentive boyfriend material, is the kind of man every girlfriend's mum would adore. Ironically, he's also the kind of man the girlfriend herself doesn't find attractive. Craig lived in Houston, worked as a mechanical engineer, had a stable income and a gentle temperament. He sounded like a perfect husband candidate. But his love life? Emptier than a parking lot after a county fair. He met Emily, a marketing girl who loved dogs, iced coffee, and emotional thrill. Craig didn't smoke, didn't hang at bars, didn't bring drama, and that was his fatal flaw. From the very first week, Craig texted like a scheduled chatbot. "Good morning, beautiful. 7:30 a.m. every day. Sleep well, sweetheart. 10 p.m. without fail." He never gave her the chance to miss him, because he always texted first. Never once did she get to wonder, is he busy today? Because he was always there. Until one day, Emily texted, "I feel like I need something that makes my heart beat a little faster." A polite way of saying, "You're too safe, and I'm yawning." Women don't want you to plan their entire future. They want to feel. This isn't a call to become a jerk. It's a reminder, don't let your kindness become invisibility. A woman won't walk away because you're not good enough. She walks because your goodness is too easily available. You know what's most attractive? Not, he's always around. But, why hasn't he texted today? Attraction comes from intentional absence, from the uncertainty of when or if you'll respond. It's not manipulation. It's the lifeline of curiosity. Love is like music. Don't play the same beat too long. In Chicago, I once interviewed a DJ named Marcus during a radio talk show. He said, "If I drop the beat too evenly, no breaks, no build-up, no surprises, the dance floor empties within minutes." Love is the same. If you're a melody with no peaks, no pauses, no unexpected rests, then you're not music, you're background noise with a schedule. Doing more isn't wrong, but being too available is a red flag. Craig thought love meant limitless service, but he forgot every human needs to feel like they've earned something. No one values a gift that doesn't need to be unwrapped. Call it instinct, call it scarcity psychology. The truth remains, women don't need a man who's always there like a box of tissues. They need a man with depth, a man with his own world, a man who can't be managed with a few sweet words. Being on time isn't attractive, being unpredictable is. Attraction doesn't come from a nightly goodnight text. It comes from the one time you don't send it. And she lies there wondering, what's he thinking about tonight? Did something happen? That emotional gap is what creates the craving for connection. Bottom line, don't be Craig. Don't be the man who thinks constant presence is how you keep someone. Be the man with boundaries, rhythm, and mystery worth discovering. Craig might have been kind, but kindness without depth turns you into a shadow of yourself. And you know what? A month after breaking up with Emily, Craig started going to the gym, got a new haircut, and stopped texting goodnight every night. That's when Emily texted back. But this time, Craig read it and didn't reply. Because finally, he understood. It's not about how good you are. It's about how much of yourself you choose to hold back. Part 2. don't think keeping her is enough. You have to make her want to keep you. There's a raw truth few people say out loud. Women don't keep you because you're good. They keep you because they're afraid to lose you. And to make someone fear losing you, you must be something rare, not as predictable as the Monday morning weather report. A relationship is not a labor contract. It's a game of emotion. I once met a guy named James, a chef living in Denver. He said something I never forgot. I don't text at 8 a.m., I text at 8:17, not because I'm busy, but because I want her to notice. Sounds shallow? Maybe. But this is behavioral psychology, not trickery. Humans don't respond to what repeats too often. We get excited by the unexpected. We crave uncertainty. We stay attached to the one who gives us that feeling of, I don't fully have him. Attraction is a feeling, not a score. You might think, I'm kind, I'm attentive, I'm honest, isn't that enough? Sorry, that's the skill set of a loyal friend, not of the man she loses sleep over. You want to be as attractive as a Manhattan cocktail? Then don't let her taste it once and know the entire recipe. You need aftertaste. You need something she can't name but knows she misses. Creating emotional contrast isn't about playing games. It's to remind her, you're not available with free shipping on Amazon Prime. A guy in San Diego named Brian once told me he was dating a stunning woman, but realized he was serving her like he was trying to maintain a GPA in the scholarship of love. He sent flowers weekly, texted every night, brought her breakfast, bought her gifts without occasion. And guess what? She said, I feel a lack of emotion. At first, Brian thought she was crazy, but later he understood. Women don't respond to perfection. They respond to mystery. If you want her to keep you, you must leave her with unanswered questions. You don't need to become some mysterious caricature, but you must keep part of yourself. Don't give it all. Don't hand it over entirely. Once, I asked a girl in Portland, what makes you stay with a man long term? She replied, when I feel like I'm not done with him yet. When there's still something I want to know, explore, understand. And that says it all. Love isn't a destination. It's a journey without a fully drawn map. A woman won't keep you if she feels she's figured you out completely. This isn't advice to deceive, hide, or play dumb. It's simply a warning. Don't turn yourself into a glass cabinet display. Some things should be discovered over time. A man with depth always knows how to hold back a bit of silence between conversations. And that silence, if timed right, is more seductive than words. In the end, you can't keep anyone, but you can make them want to keep you. How? By not always being there, but being there at the right moment. By not giving everything, but giving selectively. By preserving surprise, not offering safety on demand. And if she ever thinks about walking away, let her feel like she's about to lose something that cannot be replicated. But don't let her leave and think, it's okay, he'll text me tonight. Part 3. An attractive man doesn't need to explain. He just needs to walk away at the right moment. There's an old saying in the boxing world of New Jersey, the best fighter is the one who knows when to pull back. Likewise in love, especially for men, when you don't know how to stop at the right time, you stop being attractive. You become a repetitive speech, an explanation no one asked for, an automated voice on a broken record. Boundaries aren't what you say, they're the actions you take without background music. I once interviewed a dating coach in Miami. His name was Calvin. He said, when a girl says, I feel like you're not listening, most guys start a monologue. But a smart man just asks, are you sure you're saying what you really want? Then he goes silent and walks away. Why? Because women don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. You could write paragraphs explaining you're innocent, sincere, misunderstood. But if you kneel and beg instead of quietly standing up and walking away, you've already lost your spine. Attraction doesn't lie in promises. It lies in the boundaries you won't compromise. A friend of mine named Jake from Seattle once dated a very artsy woman. Every week she tested him with loyalty challenges, flirting with his best friend, posting moody photos, disappearing for 3 days. At first, Jake texted like a model boyfriend. "I know you're sad. I'm here. If you need anything, just say it. Don't bottle it up." But the more he tried, the more invisible he became. Finally, he switched tactics, silence. And then something strange happened. She called, worried, asking where he was, what he was thinking. This story isn't to promote Cold War tactics. It's to underline this. Attraction is built on the fear of loss. And you can't create that feeling if you're always there like a 24/7 tech support line. Don't become the customer service rep in your own relationship. You're not here to apologize every time there's a misunderstanding. You're not getting paid to explain things until she feels better. You're here to live within your own boundaries. If a woman crosses the line, look her in the eye and walk away, like someone who just poured the last glass of whiskey. No permission, no hesitation. And here's the magic. Women respect boundaries not because you talk about them, but because you live in them. Silence at the right moment is the language of a strong man. An old retired cop in Detroit once told me, "When I was young, I used to argue to make a woman stay. Now, I just look, nod, and go have a bourbon." That's not just alcohol, that's manhood. The more you explain, the more it seems like you're trying to win something. But when you walk away, you force them to rethink everything. Women aren't attracted to the one who wins the argument. They're drawn to the one who keeps his poise. You want her to feel bad for treating you poorly. Don't yell. Don't write her a 3-page email. Just disappear. Disappearing at the right time isn't a threat, it's self-respect. And there's nothing more attractive than a man who won't negotiate his dignity. Bottom line, attractive men aren't the ones who talk best. They're the ones who know when to go quiet and walk away. You don't need the final word. You just need to leave a big question in her mind. Why didn't he need me enough to explain? And the moment she asks that, you've already won. Part 4. Don't be the sofa. Comfortable, but nobody remembers when it got there. Leo, 32, a software engineer in Manhattan. Socially awkward, brilliant with code, could debug any system, except himself when it came to love. He had it all, his own apartment, stable income, calm demeanor, zero drama. And yet, Leo's love life was as flat as a server just rebooted. Why? Because he was too easy to get. Always texting first. Always replying within 5 seconds. Always saying no problem when plans were cancelled. Always there, but no one ever felt like they were missing him. Emotions are like bank accounts. If you keep withdrawing without depositing, it runs dry. What many men don't realize is, constant presence without emotional depth kills attraction. Not because you're not good enough, but because you rob them of the chance to miss you. Think of it like this. Have you ever missed your air conditioner? No, because it's always there, always running, always serving. Women are the same. They don't miss you when you become a utility. They miss you when they find themselves wondering, what's he doing right now? Attractive men aren't always around, but they're always on your mind. I once talked with a bartender named Maria in Brooklyn. She told me about her ex. He didn't text every day, but when he did, he said exactly what I needed to hear. And when he was silent, I missed him. That's not emotional manipulation. That's the art of meaningful space. Attraction doesn't come from, where are you? Did you eat? Sleep well? It comes from, why hasn't he texted today? Did something happen? Or are we drifting apart? That emotional gap, used at the right moment, is more seductive than any compliment. Don't be the guy who's always there. Be the one who's unpredictably irresistible. We all love feeling safe, but attraction doesn't grow in safe zones. It grows in anticipation, guessing, craving. If you're always available like a 24/7 gas station, she's no longer excited. Worse, you're not a partner. your customer service. I once saw a guy named Mark in Chicago, deeply in love with his new girlfriend. He picked her up from work daily, brought snacks, always asked, "Are you okay? Need anything?" For the first 2 months, she appreciated it. By the third month, she said, "I need space." Mark was stunned. Did I do something wrong? No. He did too much, too fast, too predictably. And that constant presence suffocated her. Women don't just want to be loved, they want to be continually conquered. That means you must keep something to yourself. A part of your schedule she doesn't know. A part of your emotion you don't reveal. A part of your world she hasn't explored. Why? Because as long as there's more to discover, she'll want to stay. But if you lay everything out like a fast food menu, by the third visit, she's looking for something else. Bottom line, you don't have to be cold. You just need to have boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls. They're proof that you know your worth. And when you know your worth, you don't chase love. Love comes to you, then fears losing you. So don't be the sofa. Be the beautiful painting on the wall. No one sits on you, but everyone stops to admire. And if one day you're gone, the whole room will feel empty. Part 5. Strategic absence is the ultimate weapon. There's a strange paradox in human psychology. We remember what's missing, not what's always present. A man who understands this doesn't text every night to be remembered. He doesn't text and gets remembered. Absence isn't disappearance. It's the art of pausing at the right moment. I once knew a guy named Marcus, a photographer living in Seattle. Vintage style, smoked a pipe, read Camus. Women described him as a man who made them feel never fully sure. He didn't text daily. He never called to ask, "What are you up to?" But every so often, right when she was about to complain about the silence, a message from him would appear like jazz music starting at just the right time. Did you notice the sunset tilted a little today? No, I miss you. No, have you eaten? Just a presence, not to be loved but to be contemplated. The right kind of absence doesn't make you forgotten. It leaves them confused about why they miss you. An attractive man isn't there every time she snaps her fingers. He makes her restless, unsure about what she's missing. Do I miss him? Or just feel something's missing? Is he busy? Or does he no longer need me? This ambiguity is exactly where the desire to reconnect is born. And don't get it twisted, this isn't manipulation. It's protecting yourself from becoming an emotional supermarket item, always in stock, never special. A man must learn to disappear like an ellipsis, not a full stop. A full stop is a clear ending. She reads it, closes the book and moves on. But an ellipsis, that pause lingers. It makes her think more, imagine more, wish there had been more. You should be the kind of man that when he walks away, she says, "I never really figured him out. I wish I'd asked him one more question. I don't know what it was about him that moved me, but I still think about it." That's the power of a man who doesn't need to be fully understood. You don't need her to feel whole, and that's exactly what makes you whole in her eyes. In San Diego, I once met an older gentleman named Harold, over 60, twice divorced, now living solo, biking every morning. When asked, "What's your secret to women still texting you after 10 years?" he shrugged and said, "I never reply too fast. I let them wait." In love, the wait is the sweetest part. Sounds simple, but that's the strategy of a man who knows how to sustain himself. You don't need love to survive. You live fully, and that's why you're loved. Strategic absence is the breathing rhythm of attraction. You can't sustain desire without space. Like music, no one listens to a melody with no silence. Like light, it only stands out when there's darkness. And like love, it only feels real when you're not there all the time. The more unsure you make someone about you, the more their mind works to figure you out. That doesn't mean you should become a mysterious cliché. It's not about leaving her on scene or disappearing without reason. It means You appear when you choose, not when others need you. You're not customer support. You're a man with his own world. Bottom line, disappearing at the right moment isn't about controlling her, it's about preserving yourself. You don't show up to beg for affection, you show up to share your essence. And if you're strong enough to walk away while she still wants more, you'll never be forgotten. Because what women remember forever isn't the man who stayed beside them, but the one who left behind an unanswered question. Conclusion. There are men women never forget, not because they were always there, but because they knew when to disappear. The right kind of absence isn't avoidance. It's a quiet reminder that I am whole, even without your validation. And that is what makes you irreplaceable. So stop asking how to keep her. Ask yourself, am I the kind of man she wants to keep? And if one day you leave, let her wonder, why can't I let go of the man who walked away? If you feel like you've been giving too much and not being respected, maybe it's time to go silent and take a step back. Because sometimes one step away echoes louder than 1,000 words begging someone to stay. Have you ever disappeared at the right time, or stayed too long and wished you hadn't? Share your story in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to become the kind of man who's unforgettable, not easily replaced.